Welcome back everybody, it's Cree Rama from Junk Journal Divas. Okay, so I have my yellow dyed papers, and I kind of, if you can see, I don't know how well you can see the light here, but there's some orange and spots of other colors in with it. And I just wanted to go through with some stencils, and I have some of my mica powder that I turned into watercolor paints. I will link that video if you're interested in doing the same thing with your mica powders. Super easy. And so if you can see these colors here, and I'm just gonna use a stencil and just add a little bit, maybe, you know, to the edges, not the entire thing. I'm just using an old brush that I have here. So let me see what, and here's some water. Well, some messy gold water, but that's okay. Let's start with a little bit of green in here. What are we gonna do next? I have one that's kind of like a reddish, one that's gold, and one that's like a copper. So let me try this copper-ish color. And I hope that I like this. You know, when you get an idea and like, oh, have no idea how it's gonna actually look when you're done. So I have not done this yet. You guys know I'm always playing with my papers though. So I was excited to try it. Okay, then this one is like that reddish color. Big reveal here. Okay, I like it, but maybe not quite so busy. Let me just do a smidgen in this corner. Maybe not as wet, so that it doesn't, you know, bleed too much like that. Okay, and then if you can see, so the shimmer just looks really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry and come back. I was trying to get red, so this is what I ended up with. So I'm gonna try this one. Some water off because I don't want it too wet. And you could do this the kind of traditional way, playing with perfect pearls if you have those. And for that, you just use an embossing medium, or somebody, actually I saw a video where somebody said that you could just use water. So I'm not sure, I haven't tested that. Just for comparison, I think I'm gonna try the dry method with the perfect pearls. Let's just see what we like better. I have my embossing ink here. So let me see. Let's see how this works out. Take this color. And we just put a little bit, get a little bit on your brush, and then just kind of brush it around here. think I almost just like this better. Try to lift this straight up here. And you guys, just something to mention here that I don't have in the video. After you use your perfect pearls, just kind of hold your paper up and spritz it with a little bit of water, and that sets the color in the mica powder so that it doesn't rub off. Yeah, I really like these. You don't have to wait for dry time, I guess, too, is a good thing about it. I'll try a little bit of the green. If we get this more wet, if we can get more green on here. Yes, I am liking these. Let's do more. And I'm just going to use my dauber here instead. And I'm not going to add all that much to this one because I really like the way that this page turned out. So if you can see the iridescent look to it. Let's do this gold-ish. Oh, look at that. Love it, love it. Beautiful. With more green, because I feel like the other one just wasn't showing up much. This is better. That's better, but it almost has, I guess because of the red paper, really, maybe it's my lighting, but unless it's in certain light, it looks sort of like a brownish. I'm not seeing much green. Let me try the red. So now I'm going to try some Distress Spray Stain, and I have these sort of metallic colors. And you guys, I don't show it in the video, but I also did this same thing with my mica powder watercolors. I just splattered some and then smushed the pages together. And in addition to those papers, I have more embossed papers. These are some that I went over with some color, and I will show you. So there's this embossing folder. I did this one. And then I did this one. This one. That was cardstock that I used, and now these are watercolor paper that I eco-dyed, and it just didn't get much print on it. As you can see here, there's just some pieces of color, so I want to go over these. Just going to add some water here, and I'm going to go over this with inks after it dries, so I'm not super concerned with what I'm doing right now, just kind of adding some color for the background. Do these two. So I got that watercolor paper nice and wet. And then for this one, I'm going to try, this is a different green color. Let's see. Gonna do the smoosh. Oops, getting the wrong side there. Set these aside as well. And now I want to dry all of these. So while the watercolors are drying, I want to put a layer of Mod Podge on these because these are pretty much finished. I'm going to link my other tutorial video where I'm talking about different techniques that you can use to add color and make your embossed papers amazing. So I'm going to link that video. But for these, basically I used my ink pads, my mini ink pads like this, and kind of rubbed over them. So I'm going to go ahead and add Mod Podge to these and let these dry while my watercolor papers are drying. Okay guys, so I wanted to show you the results. You can see some of my Mod Podge glue here on the edge, but the results after the Mod Podge has dried. And my light, I don't know, the lighting is very strange today. It's kind of cloudy out, but I have some light coming in the window here, so hopefully it's okay. And then here's another one. So I just wanted to show you those. And now these are my watercolor papers. They are now dry. So let me see, I'm gonna separate them because I did two different embossing folders here. So I'm gonna work on these first. And I kind of started with this one and then remembered, wait a minute, you gotta start your video. So I just wish that you guys could like come in here for a moment and actually see these in person because they're just so beautiful. So I started this one and you can see that there's a huge difference there. So let me see. I used a little bit of gathered twigs, and you know I always go to my walnut stain. And again, I'm kind of, especially on things where I really want to get the raised areas, I rub both ways. So I really want to get the leaves here. And I will just add, if you're worried about hurting your pads, I have had these same ink pads. I've been using them for a year and a half now, and I'm pretty rough with them. And I just keep re-inking, you know, especially the ones that I'm going over things like this. So my brown colors, my walnut stain, vintage photo, gathered twigs, all that stuff, I have re-inkers, so I do have to re-ink them quite a bit. And speaking of, I probably need to do my walnut stain here and give that a little bit of time to soak down in there, so you can see the difference there. Huge difference. So I am going to go over these with a different color while I let that sit for a moment. And this one is gathered twigs. I'm gonna start really lightly, and we're okay. So we've got these guys done. Let me do the other embossing folder here. Some brushed corduroy. Ooh, tearing this one. Okay, and then the other papers here. So let me show you first these darker blue ones. Both sides of these I did, let me hold this up, I did a tonal script stamp, and then I did some leaves here. I just like the contrasting colors, and we've got the mica powder. This, I use Perfect Pearls here. These pages I did some EcoPrint with my embossing machine, so you can see a faint outline of a leaf here and some mica paint that kind of splattered on. You can see the leaf on this side. And this is another one. You can see the leaf patterns here. And there's another one. Aren't these colors just so pretty together? These are my favorite colors to work with. I love them. And so this time of year, I have some of my bushes are turning purple, and that's what this is. That is the color from the bush. The yellow pages, but a shimmer and contrasting colors here. I did with some stencils. And then there's another EcoPrint on the yellow with the purple. Another one here. And it was kind of cool because the color or the print actually went through to the back when I did these. It was kind of messy though, I will say, because you get a lot of leaf juice that comes out into your machine. Here you can see I did the eco dye. There's some gold. See this one with the gold. Oh, on these, again, this is multiple layers of the orange dye to get this kind of this effect, different layers here. And then I did the leaf stamp with the Perfect Pearls on the edges here. So you can see those. And then on some of them, I did some different colors. I used some stencils here. Here's another one. It's like the copper color. Here's one that I did the leaf on. Here's another one with the leaf print and the purple. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you decide to try any of these techniques, I'd love to see what you're doing. Come over to Junk Journal Divas and join me and share what you're creating. Thanks for watching.